So we have a new Predator movie.
Yeah.
The 5th Predator movie, or the 7th Predator movie,
Or the first Prey movie.
if you count
Predator versus Alien.
Predator versus Alien movies.
You have to.
You have to, because he's in it.
Yeah.
It's kind of like Freddy versus Jason. Unfortunately, you got to count them all.
Yeah.
Now, this one is set in
The Bush.
the bush, Native America, 300 years ago.
300. And you know what? Most times I think it's terrible when they do a prequel. I'm actually kind of glad they did a prequel of this.
Well, it was either that or they do humans in space.
Future again.
Against aliens.
Yeah.
But we've seen the modern military at the time, Arnold Schwarzenegger's team, right?
Yeah.
Then we saw them in New York.
Yeah.
Those are the most popular of the movies. The other ones were complete failures.
Was Predator versus Aliens a
Failures.
failure? Was it a failure?
Yeah, big time. None of them made money.
I think it has sort of a cult following though.
Yeah, but Predator has a cult following. It's just Predator.
I guess.
It's just like Aliens. Alien has no matter how bad the last 4 movies have been.
It's a guilty pleasure to watch these
guys being slaughtered.
guys being slaughtered by something that they can't see.
Okay, well, this movie stars Amber Midthunder. It's the Comanche Nation, I believe, because this film was dubbed in Comanche, so I don't see why it wouldn't be the Comanche Nation.
Yeah.
And she is upset. Her character is upset that, I think it's Nauru is her name, that she's not a hunter.
I was so afraid. That
they're going to go way overboard on it?
Way overboard, make her some kind of a Mary Sue, overpowered, better than all the boys, hunter.
Yeah.
Right.
And they didn't go that route.
You know what though? I was afraid, like, up until about halfway through the movie that they were going to go there. And they didn't.
They didn't go there.
Like, they even had, like, her tribesmates kick the snot out of her.
Yeah.
At one point.
Yeah.
Like, you wouldn't have expected to see. And they went low budget with this movie, too, and I was surprised that they went low budget.
Well, low budget as far as, like 100,000 characters and the big sceneries. But, I mean, it was filmed beautifully. The cinematography in this movie was really well done.
The shots were well done.
Some of the special effects with the bear and that, and the wolves, I thought were really done well.
You know what I did notice, though?
What's that?
They really downgraded the technology of the Predator. Like, even his invisibility cloak and his weapon systems were primitive compared to the ones that we know from, like, the current movies.
True. Now, the good thing about Predator and the lore of Predator is he has a code, right? He won't attack somebody who's unarmed and stuff like this. Maybe that's part of the code also. They knew what kind of land they're going to, so he didn't get all of his hide. Like, he was shooting darts out instead of lasers, which we've seen. And so it might have been old tech as well, right? That he had to use in this environment.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Right? So
cinematography, really well done. I thought some of the scenes in it were, like, funny. Because...
like, ironically funny?
No, it was super funny. Because it's the time of the muskets, which fire one shot.
Yeah.
And then you got to load. And at one time, they have the hunters, and they all aim at the Predator and shoot, and he blocks all 3 shots with this shield that we've never seen before, I don't think, right? And then they look at each other, and they put the gun down, and they start pouring the powder.
Start loading their muskets again.
Like, oh my God, what are we gonna do? And you know, it's hilarious, the old technology, and it was the look on their face, just looking at each other, going, oh my God, we gotta reload.
What do we do?
So I laughed my head off at that scene, which is, but I mean, at one point it looked like there's 400 guys surrounding him there, and he's blocking it all with the shield. Well, they were surrounding him. I'm sure somebody got a side shot on him.
Possibly, but his whole body has armor as well. Right?
Well, but you look when the bear attacked him. When the bear attacked him or the wolf attacked him, he got into him. He gets
because
injured.
Although he's wearing armor, there's still breaks in the armor.
Well, bullets would go through the armor too. If teeth can go through the armor, I'm sure the bullets did too.
No, like, I mean, think of a suit of armor, right? Yeah. Think of the creases in a suit of armor. You can hit it you grab it with teeth, but it's not going to go through.
He was bleeding. Remember, they tracked the green blood.
Yeah.
So
anyway,
that's something on there. But overall, I thought the movie, I was terrified that this was going to suck.
Yeah.
big time.
Me too.
I was worried it was going to be all about woman strong, man bad.
Yeah.
It wasn't.
It wasn't.
In fact, the one drawback I found, like, take that out of the equation now, just look at it as a movie. I found her reaction to be too mundane.
A little too subdued?
Like all of her comrades and everything are being wiped out, and she doesn't show any remorse. Even the ones who save her in a lot of the places.
I think that she had a hard time playing terrified.
Yeah, or any kind of panic whatsoever. Yeah. She did anger, which is all scream.
But she did that when it was time to, she was going to make her move to fight back, right? Yeah. But as her tribespeople were being completely wiped out and slaughtered by this thing, you're right. Yeah. I didn't see a lot of emotion.
I didn't see, especially those who saved her.
Yeah.
Like that one guy who held her down when she was being chased, and then they tried to shoot him.
That was her brother.
No, that was not.
That was her brother.
No, when they were running through the field.
In the straw. That was her brother.
No, he got killed. He wasn't her brother. Her brother's the one who saved her at the end and sacrificed himself on the horse.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Yeah. I thought it was her brother.
No.
Because they had the same paint stripe.
Yeah, no, it was just another tribes member. So there was that kind of stuff that it needed a little more sympathy, I thought, from her. Because she didn't hate these people. They're her tribe. Yeah. She's trying to be the leader of these people.
Well, leader. She wants to be one of them. Yeah. She wants to be looked at not as a woman,
a medicine woman. She wanted to be
wanted to be a hunter.
A hunter. So, but I thought that was a drawback in the film. I wish there was a little bit more from her point on that as far as the acting is concerned. Story-wise, I was perfectly happy with it. I was entertained, which is surprising.
It was well-paced.
Yeah. An hour and a half.
An hour and a half.
A movie doesn't have to be 2.5 hours long if it doesn't have a story to tell 2.5 hours.
Yeah. It was well-paced, so it kept your interest all the way through. Hour and a half. Wasn't too long. It ended, I think, just at the right time.
Yeah. What would you rate this as far as in the Predator hierarchy? Where is it the worst one? Is it the best one? Where would you put it?
I would put this probably somewhere around third.
See, I would put it ahead of even 2.
Would you?
2 is pretty. I liked Danny Glover and them in there. It was just cheesy, really cheesy.
See, I would say that I could do without most of the Predator movies. So yeah. I would take 1, 2, and I would say this one could be like part 3, and I would be fine with that. Yeah. 3 movies in the franchise, and if these were the 3 movies, it'd be a great franchise.
See, the thing is, as much as most of them sucked, I've seen every one of them. So there's something drawing me to these Predator movies. Yeah, and I think it's still Schwarzenegger, the lore of Schwarzenegger being there. So I would actually put it number 1, then this one, Prey, then 2, and then the others you can put in any order because they were all terrible. It really
doesn't matter, yeah.
In reality. They might be a guilty watch, but in reality they were bad.
I didn't mind Alien versus Predator. I really didn't.
No. And so a very small cast, but a well-filmed, I thought, very visual, and I liked them going back to the old country and not the high tech.
Yeah, me too. I found it a little strange at the very beginning. They spoke such good English, right? So no accents or anything like that you would expect.
Oh yeah, it's very North American modern talk.
Yeah,
like they're trying,
like even slang almost.
Yeah, they weren't
like, I've got to get me some of that, right? And that's the way they were talking.
Yeah. And it's supposed to be 300 years ago, but you have to suspend reality. It's a Predator movie.
Yeah.
Anyway, so suspend the reality of their modern people talking from 300 years ago. Right. But what would you give it? Should they watch it? What would you rate it?
I'd give it a 7.5. Like it was a good time. It was a good watch. It didn't go overboard, and it didn't underwhelm. So 7.5.
7.5. I'll go with 7.5, especially on Disney Plus. I haven't watched anything on Disney Plus as good as this movie was.
Yeah.
And that includes all the Marvel stuff and the Star Wars stuff.
Yeah. So streaming, I was happy about that.
Yeah.
Didn't have to go and spend a fortune at the theater for it. But I mean, even if it was at the theater, I think it would still be worth a watch.
Yeah. Yep. Right. I think we might be a little more forgiving with it because we saw it at home and it was free.
Like there was something that didn't feel box office about it. You know what I mean? Like, but
like the talking.
Yeah, like the talking.
and the acting.
But other than the talking and the acting, I'd say, yeah, it was great.
Yeah, for a Predator movie, it was very pleasantly surprising.
Yeah.
So there you go. That's our recommendation. Disney Plus. See Prey. If you don't have it, sorry, you need Disney Plus. Subscribe for a month and then cancel.
Yeah.
Because the rest of the stuff isn't worth it. Until next time, we'll see you on the channel.